10 different bun hairstyles, but make it vintage. Hello, welcome to Lady in Waking. Very brief introduction today. If you've never been here before, this is the channel where we do a age-appropriate version of vintage style, whatever that is to you. I'm over 40, so take that for what it's worth. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more. Today we're doing Milabu's 10 different buns, but I'm going to do them a vintage version. I was very inspired by this video linked below. I love her. I think her videos are very easy to follow and I really like her demeanor and personality. So I just thought I would do a sort of, I guess this isn't technically a response video, but it's just sort of inspired by her video. So we're going to do 10 different versions of buns, but we're going to do the exact same ones she's done in her video, but we're going to do them a vintage video or a vintage appropriate. And I'm also going to do a little outfit suggestion of an era or a style that I think would look good with that bun, so you can kind of get an idea of where I'm coming from with it. You will need bobby pins. I use Metagrip bobby pins by Sally. You will need these little bun formers. These are called bun makers, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but this is a small version. I'm going to use 2 of those today. You will need a bun form. This one is one of the ones that you can snap and unsnap, and it is definitely losing its steam, so I need a new one. You will need accessories, hair clips, clear elastics, and ponytail holders. I have rolled my hair in foam rollers to give it a lot of curl. I feel like curl is going to make my hair look, it'll be a little bit more durable. If my hair was straight and I attempted to do these styles, not only would they not look vintage, but they would also not, it would become so deflated and stringy after a while that I wouldn't really be able to manage it anymore. So the curls are going to kind of help me to manage these buns for my own hair texture. You do not have to have curls in order to do this, but I feel like in this case it is going to help with the styles. I am keeping my bangs visible for some of the styles, and then I will be pinning them off my face for others. So now let's get to it. Okay, for the first bun, all you're going to do is take your hair and pile it right on top of your head in a ponytail. And if you've got curls, this is going to work a little bit easier, or if you've got texture to your hair, it's going to work a little easier, but you're going to actually take your ponytail elastic. I'm using one that's in the same color as my hair, does not matter at all. And I'm pulling my hair through once, wrapping it around, pulling it through twice, and then on the third time when you go around, you're going to actually only pull it through part way. So you're going to see that you've got like a loop at the top and then your curls around the bottom, and you literally can just arrange that and pin it however you want to. It is super easy. It's a very, very simple one to do, and I absolutely love this kind of clean up the back, and it looks very modern but also sort of mod. And it looks really, really great with sort of 60s style. So I actually show this featured as something that I think would work really well for sort of a casual 1960s capri and the little mod collar. So late 50s, early 60s, and it works great. Okay, for the second style, you're going to take your hair and you're going to split it into behind your ears. So you're going to take the top section, which is going to be from ear to ear, and you're going to put that into a ponytail, but you're going to do the same thing you did before. You're going to pull it through twice, and then on the third time, you're going to leave it in that loop. So it's sort of a shortened bun. And then you're going to take the bottom 2 sections and you're going to split them in half and sort of create this triangle of 3 fluffy ponytails, doing the same thing with all 3 ponytails, pulled through twice, and then leave the third section only partially, the third time only partially pulled through. And then you're going to take all 3 of those ponytails and you're just going to pin them together into one cluster. So it ends up looking like a giant head of hair. It will even sometimes look like false hair, because looks like you have so much hair back there. But you're going to just take that, clean it up a little bit with the comb, and then you can actually add accessories if you'd like. I'm going to add a floral clip here, and I think this would look really great featured in a simple high humidity hairstyle for like a tiki party and sort of a floral 1950s dress. Okay, for this next one, you're actually going to reserve a small section at the front of your head. If you have bangs, it'll be the section directly behind your bangs. If you have no bangs, it'll be at the very front. And you're going to reserve all the rest of the hair in a ponytail. Just get it out of the way, and then just braid that top section down in a loose braid all the way down to right below the ear. and then just sort of clip it in place. And you can loosen that braid up and make it look a little bit more structured, a little bit more full, to kind of give it more sort of a 50s vibe. And then you're going to take the remaining back hair and you're going to form it into a ponytail at the bottom of that same ear. So where the braid ends is where the ponytail begins, and then you're going to take that ponytail and all the little curls and sort of create a cluster of curls. I'm using a ponytail elastic to sort of gather all of that into sort of a little ball, and then just pin it into a loose cluster of curls. So it's basically a braid that ends in curls. Do it a little neater than I did here. Watch your sectioning. And then you're going to just accessorize if you'd like. Sometimes I add flowers. I love this with sort of tropical batik style prints and bamboo jewelry. This next one gives you a really great base for sort of a vintage 60s look. You're going to take the hair directly above the ears and sort of create a ponytail at the back of your head, and you're going to use one of these bun forms. I'm going to slip the hair through almost to the end and then curl it up and then bend the bun form into place. It's made of wire and it just sort of interlocks with itself, and then you'll kind of wrap the hair around and cover over the bun form. And I usually use some small bobby pins to sort of pin that into place and make sure that the hair doesn't come loose from the bun form so that it shows. And then you can take any kind of accessories, flowers, bows, anything like that, and sort of spice it up a little bit. This looks really great with 1960s aesthetic, like shift dresses and stuff like that. But if you really want to go 60s, make sure that you are teasing the crown so that you have a lot more fullness, and maybe pull some loose pieces around the front of the face framing Brigitte Bardot style. Okay, for the next bun, we're going to take all of our hair. It's very, very simple. This is just a twisted chignon. We're going to take the hair and put it in a ponytail at the nape of the neck, a low ponytail, and then we're just going to twist. We're going to keep twisting the hair around itself and pin as you go. That will help the bun to lay a little bit more flat. And then you're just going to keep twisting and pinning and tucking those ends until you have just sort of a nice twisted chignon. It is very, very simple to do and looks great with basic black suiting or a hat. This is an ideal style for longer hair if you want to channel sort of a vintage look. Okay, for the next one, we're going to do the double buns. This can be done low, like closer to the nape of the neck, or high, but you're going to basically take your hair and part it in the middle, and then just take each side and put it in a ponytail on each side of the head. I did high ponytails this time, and I've pulled my bangs back at this point to kind of give it just a general different look, just to kind of help out with that. But after you get your two ponytails in place, I'm going to tease the top section of those ponytails to give it a little bit more volume, and then I'm going to wrap the top section around my fingers, 2 fingers, and then I'm going to pin that into place with small bobby pins right at my head. And I've got the top section kind of formed into a little half bun, and then we're going to take that lower section of the ponytail and we're going to do the exact same thing on the bottom. I don't usually tease this section. You can if you want to and give it a little bit more volume, but you can actually just wrap it around and then pin that into place again at the bottom. This is going to give you sort of a little flower shape to your buns. I think it looks a little cuter and a little bit more freeform than just doing a regular sock bun on both sides. So that's why I opted to do that for this particular style. And then after you've got those pinned into place, you're going to do the other side exactly the same. Try to keep them as even as possible. And then after you've got both buns pinned into place so that you've got those two little kind of Princess Leia mouse ear type buns on both sides, this is a great casual style. Then you can actually add accessories. In my case, I'm going to add a nylon scarf and just create a little bow right in the center. This looks really great with play suits. It looks really great for Disney bounding if you want to do sort of a Minnie Mouse outfit that's sort of inspired by Minnie. But I think it's really, really easy to do and always turns out really cute. Okay, this next one is another variation on that first very, very high top knot that we did, only this one is going to be a little bit more influenced by the samurai bun. You actually do the same technique where you pull it through twice, then on the third time just leave that loop at the top, But the difference in this one is instead of allowing the curls to kind of cluster around the bottom, you're going to actually pull a few pieces out and start wrapping it with those extra pieces to make it have a little bit more of a cone-shaped, more conical appearance. It's going to look a little bit more tall. So this can also be referred to as a tower bun. And then you're just going to wrap those pieces until it's got the effect that you like. I think that this style particularly works really, really great with 1960s, like the classic Asian pajama styles or the Asian fashions that were popular in the 60s. This would look great with some little chopsticks popped in it if you're not adverse to doing that. I love all of that stuff. So looks great with that sort of aesthetic. The next one is going to be your standard sort of ballet bun. And all you have to do is just take your bun form, make a ponytail, and then stick your ponytail through the bun form. And then all you have to do is take your ponytail and sort of cover the bun form with your ponytail. Just lay it out sort of flat and pancake it around the bun form. And then you take another elastic and you place it over the top so that it just sort of draws all of the base hair in. And that's going to effectively cover the bun form. And then you'll just sort of pin it into place. And you can leave those curls loose. I've seen that actually done in the 60s. It was really super cute. And you can keep the front hair a little looser also so that it won't be quite as structured. But you're just basically, if you want that classic ballerina look, going to take all of that loose hair and tuck it under and then pin it into place. And this looks especially good with a black dress or a full skirt. You can top it off with a flower. And I love that style. Very classic. Okay, here's another partial updo. This one works best if your hair is nice and loose and has a little bit more pieciness to it. Since I've worked my hair so much, it's not going to be possible for me to keep it as loose as I would like it to look. However, you just take your hair and you pull it into a top ponytail, just a partial ponytail. And then you're going to take that little partial ponytail after you've kind of smoothed out the bottom and brushed it into place, because that's going to be the majority of the style, is that keeping that partial ponytail in place. You're going to take that partial ponytail and you're just going to make a very loose bun out of it. And the way that I typically do that is just take the ponytail and wrap it around my fingers a couple of times. You can go back or forward, but I sort of go back and then sort of twist it at the end. And then you're just going to pin it. You're going to pin a loose bun in place over the part. Just twist it and pin it into place until it is at the point where you like it. And again, you can tease your hair. You can make this look a lot fuller. And it looks great with casual 60s styles as well. And finally, this one might be my favorite. This is sort of a braided bun. You're going to take your hair and put it in a ponytail and then braid the ponytail into about 6 different sections. You're going to secure the end of the section with a bobby pin and then pull the braid apart to make it a little fuller. And then you're just going to twist that braid back in and pin it however you want to. This is purely subjective. You take each braid, curl it in on itself, and then pin it. And you'll see that the little curled ends of my hair sort of poke out between the braids, and it just makes a cluster, like a snake-like cluster of braids. This would look so beautiful with 1950s style kind of Grecian gowns. And I even have this little headband here that's kind of got that same vibe to it. I would, of course, make sure my hair was a little bit fuller in the front. So anyway, all of those were more or less of a success, and it was a very sweaty hour or so. But I am really, really excited by it because it's given me so many great new ideas. So I wanted to thank Milabu for making that great video. She has several like that, so make sure you check her out if you haven't yet. You probably already know about her. But I'm thrilled with the options. You can really be inspired by modern styling and just sort of tailor it to your own aesthetic. And that's all for now. I'm about to run out of storage, so I will talk to y'all later, and we will see you next week.